So Kev, how were you? You did fucking at midnight last night.
I did
You
fucking at
fucked
midnight.
it at midnight last
I did
night.
fucking at midnight.
What was
last
that?
Night.
How was that? I've literally you've been.
It was
on
good. People in Discord
4
were
times.
putting some photos of my costume because it was a Halloween episode.
Okay.
So it was.
I have to say, the bread accentuates your jawline. Perfectly.
The prop guy came in. I didn't have any time to prepare for the show. Like
Okay.
no time. I wrote like 3 jokes. The rest I had to just take from the writer's pool, which are funny. Like they have an amazing staff of writers. But I had no time to prepare because I had to go to makeup like 3 different times to get this going. And then the art department came in and they threw the toast on my head. And it was cutting off circulation.
It was tight.
Like I had it on for like a
toast.
few seconds and I couldn't hear. It ruined my peripheral vision. I like had trouble looking at the other contestants. We have notes in the podium where you keep your joke laughs.
Yeah.
And I couldn't look down easily.
Did you resent everybody else
while wearing
their
that?
Costumes weren't as
No,
involved?
I made this bed. I had to lay in it. Like I chose to be bread cat.
Yeah, but then you look to the side.
I didn't realize how it looked until right now. I never got to see myself.
It looks great.
It's so stupid.
Like you got a Bowie next to you. Is that right?
Yeah, but Los thought I was David Bowie with bread on his head. That was the funniest part of everything.
It's the 3 stages of Bowie.
He's like, I know David Bowie was known for wearing makeup. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
And then you have David Bowie.
Wasn't a
And then you
furry.
have Comrade Bowie to the whatever the right is, whatever Moshe is.
Oh yeah, he's the sexy rabbi. Moshe was hilarious. He
Dude,
was
he's-
on fire.
he's hilarious.
He's very funny.
I love
Very
him.
funny dude. And April was amazing. She was very sweet.
Here's the thing. You are very funny. I think you were objectively the least funny person on that. Like Moshe and
Jesus.
and April Richardson. Or is that April Richardson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very funny.
Yeah, incredibly funny.
Very
They're
funny.
comedians.
Yeah.
I am
What's that
not,
like?
but I was still very happy to
Were you
be there.
Were you the swollest there?
I was. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's all
yeah,
that
I
matters.
could have fucked all of that midnight up.
Are they? I could have fucked. Bowie would have been.
Had
down
my
for
way
it.
with any of 'em.
Sexy rabbi.
What do you think? How do you
it's
think
not
that hole
a
got in
Torah
that
to lay
bread?
with a man?
No, I had to go yell at art department several times to go back and keep cutting more of the neck out because I was my voice was like this for a minute.
But
I'm
it
like,
was.
this is-
I'd like to believe it was actual bread. They baked a big bread for you.
It's a giant loaf, massive loaf, just for me, and it was good. It was a funny show. It was, yeah, but I didn't really have time to prep for it. But
Did
that's
you?
okay.
Did you win?
No, not even close.
Did you
Not even
lose?
close. Oh, I got the red light right away.
No.
And I asked for it. I was like, I don't know if they left it in the show, but when Chris introduced me, I was like, please, if you have, I don't know if you have a switch or a button, but if you can red light me, I am having trouble breathing. Like this is not comfortable.
I'm slowly dying.
Mistakes were made. I want out of here.
Well, what's here? But this. We have a lot of shit. But I don't think like. What's the process of doing that show?
Kevin got the dark jokes on the show. I don't know what that means exactly. I know we have a history of that here on the Attack.
Yeah,
Apparently.
a lot
I
of
missed
dark
one.
humor.
Actually, I missed 2 days in a row, and apparently
One of the days
we
did not
swung
go
a
well.
stick at a beehive, and the other time
Oh,
we
yeah.
we basically Black Lives don't matter. I don't know what is
No.
happening around these parts when I'm gone,
No.
but
We could knock out both of those things. I have choice words to say about each of
oh,
those
you
things.
do?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I guess we'll let Twitch and chat and Discord decide what kind of front page show they want.
We can
Do they
keep
want it to
talking
be the
about
all
Jake
insular
Mimi's.
hour where it's
Yeah.
only just us circle jerking in our echo chamber as the snake eats its own tail, or should we hit the Reddits and the whatnots and see what's happening on the interwebs? Your call, chat.
They both sound great.
We're gonna wait 40 seconds or so and see how you feel about it, and then Los will tell us, and then we'll get in. But go ahead.
Well, I was gonna ask what's the process of doing it at midnight because I don't think anyone ever talks about it. Like, I just go in and do that.
They don't?
No.
Oh,
It's,
it's
not
great.
live, right?
It's far from live. No,
Yes.
we taped at 3:30.
Okay. That's not at midnight.
It's not at all. Well, it's not at midnight anymore. It's on at 11:30 now.
Oh, that's just a better time
It's on
slot.
right
They're not
after
gonna
the
change
Daily
the name,
Show.
but that's a way better time
It's a
slot.
way better time slot, and they know it too. I asked Jordan Morris is one of the writers on the show, very funny guy, and I asked like what has changed since
Love
being
him
at
so
that new
much.
time slot, and he was like, there was a section, there was a period, maybe a season or two, where all of that midnight sort of felt like, this is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
We get it. There's a template. We show up.
Oh, what's that like?
Ding dong joke, we out, and then we go, hit the bar or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said that since moving to 11:30, there's a notion of like, hey guys, this is a real good time slot.
Yeah.
Let's hang on to this.
Don't fuck
so
it
now,
up.
yeah. So now it is everybody really going, like turning it up to 11 and making it happen. But yeah, you get to the show, they hand you a packet which has the entire show built out, some stills. There's a bunch of segments that never make it to air. They shoot it a little
Yeah.
long, and they have an amazing team of writers who
absolutely.
they load you up with some really fucking funny jokes, which is great. The first time I did the show, I wrote everything myself and was terrified, and it took all fucking day, and it was a nightmare, and like you learn.
Yeah.
Next time back, I was like, just give me. And I think the best people on that show take the foundation that their writers conceive because they know what works for the show. They know what's been said. They know what joke's been made 1,000 times. They know what's new and fresh. They take those jokes and then they iterate on them and put their own spin on them. So I did that for a handful. I wrote a couple original ones, but mostly I took from the writer pool. The hashtag war game was candy songs because it was like a Halloween thing.
Okay.
And Snickers in Paris.
Was that you?
Made me laugh so hard. No, it was on the top of the list, and I saw Snickers in Paris, and I was like, yes! And I did massive circles around it. And so what happens is you're assigned a writer, and you go through all of am I allowed to be talking about this? Someone just said, as a mod of At Midnight subreddit, this is amazing. You're welcome, BKJ Studio. Thanks for that Prime sub.
They don't tell you, like, hey.
Well, you sign a lot of paperwork, so I don't know if I'm allowed to say how the sausage is made. But I don't think it would get in the way of anybody's enjoyment of the show.
No.
Because I love it. I think they have an amazing staff, and it's a very well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
So you go through and you circle the jokes that you want, whatever. Then the writers go and they confer. They put on hooded robes. There's some tiki torches.
Oh,
there's some incense lit, and they do a joke seance, and they basically horse trade. And to April's credit, there was a bunch of other jokes that I wanted that I let go, but April gave me because she wanted Snickers in Paris, and I was in makeup the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
So I got last dibs on all the jokes. And she let me have Snickers in Paris. So thank you, April. I thanked her during one of the commercial breaks. I was like, you have no idea how much that song means to me.
Important that was to me.
I need Snickers in Paris.
And then it was cut from the actual edit of the show.
I'm sure it was.
got one joke.
And then I came home to hear that you were actually racist, not joke racist.
Yeah.
So what a great day.
What a great.
But you go and you horse trade.
Please.
Do you want to hear more about it, or is that enough? Is that enough for At Midnight? Because there's a whole process.
No, I don't know why anyone doesn't talk about this.
So you go out on stage, and so the writers, once you have all your jokes lined up, Hardwick's talked about the process. Oh, good, okay. So, Jordan will then take all the jokes that I want, write them down on cards, separate them by acts. You go out there, you get behind your podium, and the top of the podium is like acrylic. It's like a see-through glass. And they pull out a little tray, line your cards up, slam them in. You have all your jokes for the act. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, and you're there, and the goal is to not be caught looking down because they can't edit that out. But when you have a giant loaf of foam bread around your fucking head, let me pull that up again for anybody who didn't notice it. It makes it a little difficult.
Yeah, it's hard to. You don't really have a peak ability.
Yeah, here this is tough. That is tough to glance down casually.
Your hair is so weird in that too.
Well, they added like a weird pompadour thing because they thought. They thought it was bred cats. First of all, Jack Martin, the showrunner who I worked with on Let's Ask America, like one of my favorite people on the planet, like real great personality. He's like, I've been calling you Toast Kitten all week, and they've been telling me to get out of the room, old man. I was like, yeah, it's not, it's Bread Cat.
Bread Cat.
And then one of the makeup artists was like, oh, I didn't know Cat. So they literally pulled up Cats, the musical, for inspiration.
They didn't know what a cat was. They're like, oh, cats are big homoerotic men
yeah,
who
exactly.
wearing cat makeup.
Hence this.
Was that like a mesh?
Like,
like, was that like a big legging? You just had like a big spandex.
Yeah, it was
suit
like
on?
a spandex unitard that they painted some. They look like feathers, but it was like cat fur. But I had boots on with like fur and everything. Like their art department went all out, and they were great. They're great, but it was choking me to death. But yeah, you do the show, you watch the points run up. It's very clear by the end of the first block who's going to go on and who's not. Like it's very clear, which is great. I mean, it's fine. It's all in fun. And then during the commercial breaks or whatever, they come in. You get a little hydration.
Yeah.
They swap your cards for the next act, and you continue on, and that's it.
Wow.
And when the typing to break, complete bullshit.
Typing? What do you mean?
Sometimes it'll be like, contestants, give me your your tweet that you would send if you were this Mormon on a bicycle or whatever the joke is. And then you sit there and you go, so
the Lord is great.
I always type like, television is lies, this is bullshit, or something like that. April was going typing. Moshe was just slamming a bunch of spam. So it's like, that's cute because you give them beforehand so they can build the graphics.
Absolutely.
That, I think, is essentially it. I mean, that's the show.
It kind of is a well-oiled machine.
It's
Bada bing,
incredibly
bada boom,
well.
joke,
It
joke,
goes
ding,
fast,
ding.
and the pickups, because Hardwick is an amazing host. He'll miss a prompt or miss a thing maybe once or twice. I've been there 3 times, I think, maybe 4, 3, I think 3. Each show, maybe 1 or 2, and for the amount of copy he has to riff through plus play with the contestants, it's amazing. And to he'll say, "Oh, this was on Instagram." this was on Instagram, and like his pickups are that. There's
Yeah.
no waiting for a count-in. There's no waiting for a stage
Yeah.
manager. There's no waiting for
You
anything.
have to wait for someone to feed him a grape and fan him for a little bit.
Yeah,
Then-
they throw him across the stage,
Yeah.
grabs it, and continues on. But no, the pickups are like that. The
Yeah.
show is shot that quick, and that's amazing. It's great that they can churn it through that fast.
I'm just like I'm glad it's on the time slot that it is because it was always so weird that I guess it made sense for them to do Daily Show and whatever second news show it was. But I'm like, put some variety content there. That's like their biggest block. Put something different. I'm glad that they have that slot because I like that show.
Well, and they've really pivoted into, at least for this season, because of the election cycle. There's the highly political show, and it's like as it should be because, I mean, the show is all about internet pop culture and dank memes.
Yeah.
Every meme these days pretty much has Trump in
hands,
it.
yeah.
I wanted to be Trump in a piece of bread, but they have like a guy who goes on as Trump all the time.
Oh, you don't want to brand confusion. Don't want to.
no.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Hey, we already have a Trump," and then I said, "Well, just give me a T-shirt with a small bleached asshole stain on it, because I'll be Kanye."
Yeah.
You know, there was like it required too much explanation. Then I was gonna be a member berry because I thought that'd be great. South Park, yeah, member. But then it was bread cat. It's just easy enough. For
There's
us to
like we
do.
already made the big toast cat costume.
Exactly. We got Toast Kitten.
We get toast kitten.
All right, so Los, what did chat say? Were we on it? Do we know where we're at? Should we be insular? Oh, I've been on 4 times. Is that true?
I think so.
I would trust the mod of At Midnight more. Well, I was on with Aisha and Will. I was on with. Oh yeah, I was on 4 times. I was on with Aisha and Will. Then I was on with Will and.
They keep pigeonholing you with Will Wheaton.
No, I was on with Will twice, and then the second, but I don't remember. Oh, it was Brooke Van Poppelen. Then I was on with Flula and Erica. Yeah, okay. Holy shit, 4 times. There you go.
Nice.
Memory.
Yeah.
Drugs, kids. Not even once. Unless you're
Awesome.
bored, then all the time.